Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the NBA slate on DraftKings for Thursday, February 15th. This is our last slate before the All-Star break, so we only have 2 games today. So today's video is going to be pretty quick, going to be pretty short, but I'm still going to give you guys some good information. If you're playing this 2-game slate, I know I will be playing. Got to get one more slate in for the break. I believe it's like 6 days with no games. And like I said in my video yesterday, I will be trying to upload some videos during the break, even if they're not DFS related. But I do just want to try and keep the channel active during the break. Don't really want to go 6 days without uploading anything. So if you have any ideas of videos I can make, whether it be DFS related or not, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. Always like to read comments if you guys have any. But yeah, guys, before we get started looking at point guard on today's 2-game slate, just make sure you give the video a like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you click that subscribe button so you'll never miss out on any of my new videos. But starting off at point guard, on this 2-game slate, up top here you got Eric Bledsoe, most expensive point guard on the slate, $7,100, going up against Denver. I do really like Bledsoe here as an option, $7,100. I think that's a reasonable price tag. Bledsoe's been paying this price tag off. He's in a great spot here. This Denver team they do really struggle to defend the point guard position, so this is a good matchup for Bledsoe. And like I said, he's been able to pay this price tag off. At this price, he won about 36 DK points, and in Bledsoe's last 4 games, he's got 43, 44, 35, and 37 DK points, so he's been very consistent. Can easily get 6x on this price. Really like Bledsoe as a mid-tier play on this slate. Definitely one of my favorite mid-tier options if we're just talking about, besides like Towns, Butler, besides the expensive plays like Middleton, Barton, Randall, these mid-tier options, Bledsoe would probably be my favorite of all them. And he is definitely my favorite point guard on the slate if we're just talking about all point guards. You got Ingram, point guard eligible. You got Jeff Teague, Jamal Murray, who's questionable but is expected to play. You got those guys for a little bit cheaper. I definitely want Bledsoe, though, if I'm paying for a point guard at this position. I don't mind going down to Jeff Teague or Brandon Ingram, but I think Bledsoe is the guy I want here. You could play those guys like Teague and Ingram, Murray, Thomas. I think those are the guys we're really targeting at point guard. There's no value here that I see. Josh Hart, not sure if I really want to play him now that Isaiah Thomas is in this rotation. The minutes just aren't going to be there for Hart. His minutes are going to get cut down a bit. And I think there might be some better value we can find at other positions. For it to just be a 2-game slate, we do have some good studs to pay up for. You got the guys from the Timberwolves like Butler, Towns to consider. You got Jokic, got Antetokounmpo. So there's studs to pay up for. We might need some value. Hart could be an option, but I really don't think he's a guy we have to have on the slate. That's really it for a point guard. Really not many value plays here. Mainly Bledsoe, Ingram, Teague. I think these are the guys I want, and then Murray, Thomas are probably like secondary plays for me. So let's go ahead and move on to shooting guard. You got Jimmy Butler up top here in a great matchup against the Lakers. You do really like Butler here, but I think I'm not going to have him on this slate. I think I'd rank like Towns, Jokic, Antetokounmpo. I think that I'd rank those guys ahead of Butler today, especially Towns. I think Towns is the guy I'm trying to pay up for on the slate over Butler. And I think I'd rather get up to Jokic over Butler as well. So I don't think I'm going to be trying to fit him in on this slate. I think shooting guard is a place where we can look for some mid-tier plays. In this mid-range, I do really like Gary Harris here at just $5,900, especially if you're planning to play cash games today. I think Gary Harris, always a good cash game play, especially when he's this price tag. When he's like 6K and under, Harris is just so consistent that he can pay off this price tag. Even if he doesn't pay it off, he'll get relatively close to value. He has been a little inconsistent lately and hasn't been paying off this price lately. But that's one of the reasons he's kind of cheap today. You're getting him at just $5,900. You do like this matchup, and I think Harris is just a really good mid-tier play. I like a lot of the mid-tier plays on this slate. I'm not seeing a ton of value that I'm absolutely in love with. So guys like Harris, Bledsoe, these mid-tier options are the guys I'm really trying to kind of force in my lineups today. And if I can fit at least one stud, then I'll definitely be trying to do that. But not sure if stars and scrubs is really going to be an option today with minimal value. And just looking at this position, I don't see value here that I really like. You got Hart here, who I guess you could play, but like I said, at $4,600, I think there might be better value at other positions. If for some chance Jamal Murray does not play today, you could play Devin Harris. He'll probably be one of the better value plays at just $3,600 if Murray is out, but Murray's probable. He's expected to play, so don't think we're really going to be able to go to Harris. KCP, just not really a guy I have a lot of interest in. He can play 30, 35 minutes, but just do absolutely nothing. He's been getting the minutes lately, but the production has been inconsistent. Isaiah Thomas, I think, would be a good play here if you want to play him at shooting guard. Same with Murray. Wiggins, don't think I want to go to Wiggins here. I think I'd prefer Murray for a little bit cheaper, or just get up to Barton or Middleton. So that's really it for shooting guard, at least for the plays that stick out to me at this position. So let's go ahead and look at small forward today. You do have Giannis up top here, 10,700 going up against Denver. I don't think Giannis is the guy I'm trying to force in on this slate. I've always said on small slates you definitely want to try and pay up for the studs, jam in the studs on a 2-game slate. But we do have other stud options. Giannis really isn't our only option to pay up for. You got Jokic, you got Butler, you got Towns. And I really like the savings you get, taking the $1,000 in savings, going down to those guys just because Giannis hasn't really been getting it done lately. You just look at his last 4 games, 51, 46, 50, 45 draft points. He's giving you a solid floor in the mid-40s in DK points, but I think we can get mid-40s, close to 50 DK points from some of those guys that are like $1,000 cheaper. For example, Karl-Anthony Towns. I think Karl-Anthony Towns could easily get 50 today, and you get some savings if you go down to him from Antetokounmpo. Obviously, if you can fit Giannis in with one of those other 9K guys, I think you can do that, but not seeing a lot of value that I love, like I said. But out of all the positions where we can find value, I think small forward is definitely a position I want to go cheap at today. There is a play here that's 5K and under that really sticks out to me as value. Wilson Chandler, 4,900 in that matchup against Milwaukee. Really like Chandler here. Been playing so well lately. The minutes have been very high for Chandler. At least in his last 2 games, he's played 40 and 34 minutes. Has put up 37 and 42 DraftKings points. Chandler's just been playing so well, and when he's on a heater, you definitely want to take him here. And he's been getting the minutes, which is also something you'd like to see. Malone been giving him consistent minutes with all the other starters, which is something we kind of didn't see a while back. They were usually giving Trey Lyles more minutes than Chandler, even though Chandler would start. Lyles would usually close out games. He would usually play like 30 minutes. But that hasn't been the case lately. Chandler's been closing out games, been getting a lot of minutes. Lyles hasn't really been doing much off the bench. I think that continues here. I think we see Chandler play 30 minutes again, 30-plus minutes at least. And as a value option at small forward, one of the better value plays I do see on this slate. You could go down to Tony Snell if you want to save money at this position. He's been playing a ton of minutes lately just because the shooting guard position for Milwaukee is kind of empty right now with Malcolm Brogdon hurt. Snell's been playing almost 30 minutes every game, but you just look at the DraftKings scoring. The guy does nothing when he's on the court. 30 minutes against the Heat, 8 DraftKings points. 27 minutes against the Magic, 9 DraftKings points. 31 minutes against the Hawks, only 13 DK points. You're obviously getting some dirt cheap savings on him at just 3,500. You're getting a guy that's 3,500, going to play 30-plus minutes, but like I said, he could do absolutely nothing when he's on the court. The only reason I would really consider Tony Snell today is if you're just trying to fit in multiple studs and you want to go stars and scrubs, but Snell's not really a guy I'm forcing in. I think they're better value plays that are a little bit more expensive, and I just think I'd rather try and find the salary, get up to Chandler at small forward if you're going cheap here. He's really my favorite play at this position. If you're not jamming in Giannis or Jimmy Butler, I really want to go cheap with Chandler here. Like Kuzma, not really sure if I'm forcing in Kuzma today, even though he did play really well on Tuesday or Wednesday night. The Lakers are on a back-to-back. Kuzma's coming off a nice game Wednesday night, but I'm just not sure at 6K if I really want to play him on the slate. Chandler is mainly the guy that I'm targeting at small forward, so let's go ahead and look at power forward today. You do have Julius Randle towards the top of this position. He's 6,700 going up against Minnesota. I do like Randle here. They're going to need him on Karl-Anthony Towns and Taj Gibson. Those guys are usually always on the court playing. Those guys play a ton of minutes. So I think we see Randle play 30 or more minutes here. When Randle gets minutes, always want to consider him. And Towns is not the best defender, so this is a matchup where Julius Randle could easily get 35, close to 40 DK points and really hit value on this price. There is like a mid-tier play at power forward that I'm really liking today, but Randle, if I can get up to him, if maybe value somehow opens up on the slate, then Randle is a guy I want. But the play that really catches my eye and sticks out to me at power forward is Taj Gibson. Just 5,300 and a great matchup against the Lakers. You love Taj Gibson here. We know the minutes are going to be there for Gibson, especially if it's a competitive game. He's going to play 30, close to 35 minutes just about every game. You look at the last 4 games, 35, 27, 32, 34 minutes, 22, 21, 22, and 18 DK points. Have been very consistent. For what it's worth, through 2 games this year against the Lakers, Gibson's averaged 28 DraftKings points and has played an average of 33 minutes, so he's done really well against them. He's really underpriced today at 5,300. I think it's really likely he's able to pay off this price tag. I really like Gibson here at power forward. Him and Randle are definitely my favorite plays in this position. Maybe one more guy if you wanted to go cheap here. You could play Thon Maker, 4,100 against Denver. I think Maker is a good option with John Henson ruled out today. Now that the Bucks have Tyler Zeller, their center minutes are going to be sort of jumbled up a bit, but Maker's usually the one that sees the most minutes. He is the one that starts at center when Henson is out. I think Zeller's like the better point per minute producer, but I think Maker's the safer option. I think Zeller is maybe the GPP play if you want to go to him. But with Henson out, Maker does make sense if you're going cheap at power forward. He is really, really cheap, just 4,100. But that's what I'm seeing for power forward. Mainly Randall, Gibson, Maker, the guys I like here. So moving on to center, definitely have some studs up top here. Got Jokic and Towns. Right now, looking at this slate the night before, I think Towns is my favorite of the two of these guys. Can't go wrong with Jokic, but just love Towns here. 9,300 against the Lakers, being matched up with Brook Lopez. You love that matchup. Lopez not the best defender. We know he's not a good rebounder. He doesn't rebound at all. So Towns should totally be able to dominate the boards in this game. He's been playing really well lately. He's put up over 53 DraftKings points in 3 of his last 4 games. 53 against Cleveland, 56 against Sacramento, and his last game against Houston had 64 DK points. And for pretty much all the Timberwolves starters, we know the minutes are going to be there. If it's a competitive game, Towns is going to play almost 40 minutes if it's a competitive game. Love him here at 9,300. You can't go wrong with Jokic, but right now I do prefer Towns. And then other than those two guys that up top, it's kind of like same guys I've already talked about, like Randall. Brook Lopez, don't want to go there on this slate. I think there's better value. I think Maker is a better value play if you're going cheap at center. You could also consider Tyler Zeller for 200 less than Maker. He did play 23 minutes off the bench their last game against the Hawks, put up 27 DK points. He's a much better point per minute producer than Maker is. I feel like Maker will play more minutes, but Zeller could definitely outscore Maker. Wouldn't surprise me at all. And these bigs are going to have to play minutes. They're going to need someone to guard Jokic. Could be Zeller that gets the good minutes. Could be Maker. Either way, I don't think you can go wrong with either. I think Maker, if you're playing cash, he's the guy I want. If you're playing tournaments, Tyler Zeller, 3,900. Those are two value plays I like at center. But that's really it for center. That's really it for this slate, guys. Pretty quick video today, just a 2-game slate. But that doesn't mean there isn't money to be made. Definitely going to be grinding this slate and hopefully in the All-Star break with some money in my pocket. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy the vid. If you did enjoy the video, just make sure you give it a like and make sure you subscribe if you have not already. And if you have any questions or have any ideas of videos I could make during the All-Star break, make sure you leave them down in the comment section below. Or you can hit me up on Twitter if you have any ideas at the DFS_GOAT. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Enjoy the All-Star break and good luck tonight on this slate, guys. Peace.